This is Lonnie Rogers, one of the co-hosts with Legacy in Motion, and I want to welcome you guys. We have a special guest, Smitty. He's coming all the way from North Carolina, and he's going to give y'all some knowledge that's talking about sales, that's including vertical integration. And we're going to really shoot some really good points for you guys today. We've been working on this for almost a month, so I'm super excited. Y'all see my new setup here. We've been working hard. You know, you got Greg there. He got the whole setup too. We've been getting it in. So we've been doing a lot of work, and we got some new information for you guys for 2026. So let's get started. Let's get started, guys. So we also got the chat up here too. So we got a new program here. So anybody got questions for Smitty, Greg, or Lonnie here? We're here to answer those questions for you and get you guys on the right track for 2026. So I want to introduce Smitty right here. You want to tell a little bit about your past and how you got and what you're currently doing now?
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. First of all,
Yes,
I'm a
yes.
retired U.S. soldier, and once I retired, of course, I did numerous contracts overseas, including ones here in the States. So, of course, like everyone else, you get to that point, like I need to do something that's bigger and better for me and my family.
Right.
So I said, you know what? Me and my wife sat down one day and said, how about we start a lemonade stand? And it started as a joke. We said we're gonna start a lemonade stand and have a little residual income for our children, or have something to leave them once our time come to go into glory. So we
Right.
started it. The first time we sold out, we was like, wow. We was like, maybe we got a little something here. So then we had another event. We sold out again. I said, you know what? We are on to something. Instead of just something to just pass time or just do a little thing just for now, it became one of our streams of income.
Right.
So we went ahead and made sure that we did everything legally. We got our LLC and started pushing this thing harder and harder. So now we got to the point where we official, make sure we doggone got our social media platforms going, so everyone can look on there and see where we're going to be at during the different times of the season that we having our sales going on. So I make sure that we continue to get better and grow and go ahead and set up that website. So once we get that website, we'll get more traction and most definitely have more and more people following us. Most
Right.
definitely, we use the most important tool in the Black community, I think, and that's the word of mouth. All it takes for one person to taste or to try out your product or your service, and if they think it's good, they're going to tell their friend, mother, sister, brother, whoever, and it's going to keep on going. And before you know it, you're going to be the talk of the town. And that's currently where we at right now, down in the Southeast United States. Hey, everywhere we go, people know us. They see our T-shirts. They see us on social media. They love us. And every time we have an event, they're there. So we're very thankful for that.
So right now you're doing things like around the community, brick and mortar type thing, getting your word of mouth, getting your brand up.
Yes, sir. Matter of fact, so what we started at first, we started hitting like the big events, the Martin
Mm,
Luther King parades, the St. Patrick's Day parades, anything that they have in our town that they're going to celebrate somebody or something. Because we all know, you have Juneteenth. That's a big
mm-hmm.
one, of course, in the Black
Right.
community. So we most definitely make sure that we there for that because without the old school, none of us would be here right now. So we got to pay homage and give back.
Right. So what's the name of your lemonade stand again? Just so that people can hear you.
Yes, it's called Literally Lemons.
Larry
We're based
Lemon.
out of Clover, South Carolina.
I like that. I like that. So what type of different lemonades that you sell? I just want to kind of start it up with everybody just to show that a lemonade stand can also make money. It don't matter what type of business that you in, as long as you got a good idea and that idea come from you, it can be $1 million idea. So the reason why I keep asking you these questions is because I really want people to understand the value of having something that you love doing.
Yes, you're absolutely
Right.
right. So a few of our flavors, our best one, I think that is like everyone's favorite is the strawberry. Strawberry is by
Right.
far our biggest seller that we've had since we've been in business. And then
Right.
a close second would be blue raspberry. The kids
Oh,
like that one, and a couple grown people. So some of them like to mix it with their adult beverages, and I don't have no qualms with that. You can come back and buy as much as you want, because we're gonna be there.
right.
What I'm saying, to make sure that we serve you and give you that good lemonade.
Right. Right. So I want to ask you this too. What is your 5 year goal? Like what do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I see this being not just a stream of income, but our actual, this is going to be our bread and butter. This is us, how we live off our own business instead of us working for someone else.
Right. That's good. So one last question. What the years that you've been in the military, between all the three of us, we got about 50 years of military services. So we've been there, we've done that. But what do you think that the military taught you when transitioning over to doing your own business?
To be resilient. Because being a service member is always the fear of the unknown. Whether you PCSing, you going to combat, or you just going to a different duty station. It's always the
Right.
fear of the unknown. So it always taught us to be resilient, to doggone bend and not break. So I took that as always continue to push, keep going, keep going, keep going. Because a lot of times, a lot of us get in business and we think that because in the first 3 years we were still in the red. So a lot of people quit. So good thing
Right.
the military taught us to keep on going and not give up. So that's something that I hold dear to me, and I passed on to my kids.
Wow, that's good. So spreading the knowledge, that's word of mouth, teaching you pretty much creating generational wealth, teaching the kids
Got
the
to.
value of having a business, teaching your kids to value something and work hard for it. That's what it's all about. That's why we created Legacy Emotion here. So that's why we have Mr. Smitty here. Lots of knowledge about sales, and we're going to give you guys some really good knowledge tonight. So we're going to kick it off. Well, let's talk. Let's talk. We had a video that we was talking about. If y'all check out YouTube, it's the first video that we was talking about vertical integration, and me and Greg got really intrigued with that. Like we was like, wow, like we was already doing it, but we didn't have a word for it. And I was like, wow, this is a pretty good subject. So we decided to do a little bit more in vertical integration and talk about what it relates to in sales. And that's why
Right.
we got Mr. Smitty here because he's a real good salesman. It's all about word of mouth, all about networking, and we want to break it down to you guys tonight on what is that all about. So, Greg, you want to kick it off?
Yeah, yeah. So,
Okay.
like previous podcasts that we had, we talked about basically you owning your own business, being able to start your business, have 100% of your income, and not fault to something else. And what I mean by that is, if you look back at about 4 or 5 years from today, you have different people, different platforms that say, I'm going to start this business. Prime example would be Nipsey Hussle is the one that I love to use. I ain't going to say like I love to use this example. So what he did was he started out small and created one of the first digital stores in California. And when I say digital, I mean doing stuff on a platform where you can do sales over your phone or through the internet, and created what we know as one of the biggest industries today. And how he did that was he cut out the middleman. And that's what we talk about with vertical integration. Vertical integration basically means you earn 100% of your profits by eliminating that third party person, that vendor, a vendor appliance, I call them, because all they doing is getting some merchandise and reselling. So you cut out that middleman, you get all those profits, you get 100% of what you put into it, and then you get even more, and that's through um, your taxes or however. But what Nipsey Hussle did was he took his CD that he was selling and put concert tickets in that CD. In that CD, once you receive it, go to a concert for free, and you have a 20 songs on the CD. That has never been done before. And that's how he started his shift to having a store, multiple stores in California, having his own T-shirt business, which he did himself, having clothing line, which he did himself. So that's what we say when we want to teach people how to have um, intestinal fortitude for vertical integration, and be your own boss, have your own products, cut out the vendor, and make the money you can make.
Right. That's nice. So I want to give a shout out to a couple of people in the chat. Thanks for sending out some chats. But hey guys, I'm glad you guys are in. Um, we also monitoring that throughout the day. And if you guys have any questions, just say it in the chat and we'll answer it out for you guys. Okay. All right. Thank you guys. So pretty much what Greg was saying is taking that business model and making it yours, getting the best possible profit that you can get from it. The less middleman, the more profit that you can get. So let's touch in a little bit about sales. How sales were like related to that. Like I know sales is like the biggest thing of when you're trying to sell services or when you're trying to sell a product. So I would throw like let's give an example of like where we can actually transfer over from sales to vertical integration. And I think what a lot of people like to do is clothing.
Mhm.
Clothing is one of the biggest things that people buy, people sell. It could be a services too, because you can either buy from a different person and sell it through your brick and mortar, or if you just want to create your own clothing line. What do you think that you can possibly do to get rid of that middleman from there? I'm just asking the chat that want them to ask themselves that. It don't matter what type of business you have, but what do you think that you can use or utilize to get rid of that middleman to go full, get the at least 90% of your profit. And I'm gonna give you this example with clothing. A lot of people, most of the clothing come from China. Most of the material come from China. So what can you actually do to get to them wholesalers, to get to the people who make the clothing, so you can actually get them to make it and to ship it directly to you for you to get the most of the 90% profit of it. Me and Gray was talking a long time ago about this, about going to like places like Hong Kong and China to meet up with these wholesalers that ship these different items out to get relationships or build networking. I'm gonna say this again. Networking, which is the biggest thing when you're in business like that, to get into that vertical integration realm when you're networking with different people. Once you get that wholesaler or whoever, I would recommend getting more than one, because sometimes you have shipping problems. Sometimes they run out of products. It could be a number of things. So it's always good to have at least two or three wholesalers, just in case something happened. Okay. Once you get that, then it's all about pricing. How much would it cost for you to get that product from A to B? Me and Gray was talking about doing things like warehousing, getting a little flight transportation company to get it on freight, buy a couple of containers, and ship it back to wherever warehouse we have, and kind of go from there, do the sorting and stuff like that, and we have full control of that. The other thing is once you do the 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 wholesaler, now we're going to get into sales. And I want to before I get into sales, I want to get Smitty insight on that, on what you think that when you doing that part, that important part of when you're trying to get into sales and when you're trying to sell a product to a customer or a consumer. Most of the time, real quick, is when you ever felt like when you buy a car, and after you buy the car, you get that seller guilt, like, man, I should have never got it.
Cost too much.
Costs too much, right?
Mouse and
What do you
Lego.
think that helps when you selling a product to somebody to make them feel like they got the best product in the world?
Well, first you got to know your audience. That's number one. You know your audience, now I know how to approach you. So, like you say, I'm going to make sure that I know I'm coming to you, give you all the information that you need. Matter of fact, you know what? I would rather overload you with information rather than give you too less. Because if I overload you, now you know from A to Z, you know everything about that car, whatever product that I'm selling, and you're going to say, okay, all right, this guy is legit, and he know what he's talking about. So there's somebody coming halfway and doing willy nilly, as they call it. So now you're like, nah, I don't think I want to commit to this, because A, you're not giving me enough information, and B, you don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of the watchers, they say social media is the best way to network and market line of good and feedback. which is really good because that's how you can get to the masses. So I think the funny thing about it, sales and marketing plays hand in hand because you got to be able to market to sell anything. So, and knowing your audience also, you don't want to sell urban clothing line to a person that's in their 70s.
Right,
Right.
right. And just to hit on a little bit what Smitty was saying, know your audience, and what you want to do with sales is you want to make sure that you are selling a product that a person can relate to. You
Mhm.
want to have something to where when they get that product, they understand that you took the time, the effort, and you put blood, sweat, and tears into it, and they're gonna get a good piece back. So
Right.
when you have a person that buys something and see the quality of that work, you'd have made one. You if you make one, you'll make two. Kind of like here's an example I'm gonna use, like Master P. I'm from New Orleans, so don't hate me on it. So Master P was in California, and he was in the first time he went there, had a concert, and he jumping around singing all that down south New Orleans music. Nobody was jumping except one person. He said, if I have one fan that's gonna appreciate this music, I'm gonna have another fan because it's just gonna bleed off to them. It's the
Right.
same thing with sales and marketing and giving somebody one of those good products. They see
Mhm.
it, they're gonna, hey, where you got that from? Oh, let me go to that site. Let me do this. Let me get that piece. And all it is basically sales by word of mouth, but through the value of seeing through the eyes. That's how that
Mm.
works.
Right, right. And I think, with the social media and stuff like that too, I grew up around that era too with Master P and the Hot Boys. I'm from Louisiana too. So, the first, no, the one thing that stick out the most to me was when I was in a barber shop, I seen a poster of the Hot Boys. And I was like, man, who's that? And I went home. Back then we didn't have no internet. We had an AOL. I don't want y'all to know my age, but we had an AOL. We had to do the dial up, And but the thing back then was CDs.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in the military, you had this big old CD thing with all the CDs. You go to the PX and you check all the CDs out. That was the biggest thing. So that's how I got more and more into music. But the guerrilla marketing part. And what I mean by guerrilla marketing is the posters. You remember back in the days when the salesmen used to sell these Tupperware? Back in the days, they go door to door selling the same thing over and over to all these doors, and they were made $1 million. I feel like that should go back to the old way. Sometimes social media can play a part, but to get to networking to things that people can, that you want them to buy into, I think guerrilla marketing, door to door sales is a really good way to sell too. And the way you can do that is by flyers, um, going through USPS. I'm about to give y'all some knowledge here. USPS using their services, they got a business services. If you go on their website, and you can click on there, and you can pick a certain location or a zip code, and you pay that location or that zip code for that to go on the routes. And the way you can get rid of the pricing for that, because it only costs maybe about 200 to $150, depends on the location, right? But to start with that, with vertical integration, is buying your own printer, buying your own cards and stuff to print it out, and then drop it off those cards to the post office. A little bit game, y'all sit there like, um, but using that tool or using different things like that, I think that taking full control of your businesses, or you have multiple business, taking full control of different aspects of your business to maximize your profit or to save money to put more money into your business.
Oh yeah. And we had a question a comment actually.
Hmm.
Market research should point you in the right direction and travel along with certain other things that are claimable on your LLC and taxes. True statement. True statement. So one example I can give you: market research. So um, I work in budget analyst position, right? And I help facilitate different areas of military resourcing. So, in order for me, just say if I have a business and I want to hire somebody for that business, at first I have to go in and look at the market research of what job they're going to be doing comparable to the state they're in. And then I have to do the analysis to get the right pay and also to see if that person experience is the same. Similar to what we do with business and marketing the business is if we have something that we want to do and we want to put it on a billboard, or we want to say this whiskey can right here or flask is one of the things that I want to sell. But if I just put it on the shelf and say I'm just gonna sell it by look and without going in and saying this is what this flask will do. Hey, it'll keep your whatever you put in here, it'll keep it cold. And whenever you want it, it's concealable. Nobody's gonna know what it is. And it has an awesome design on it. Whatever you want custom to it, it'll be on this flask. So now I'm marketing a product, and in that product, that is the research with everything that I'm doing online to look up to see what the value, a one-to-one cost ratio to the area I'm in, comparable to areas that I'm not in, is all market research. To the last part of that question, claimable on your LLC taxes, everything you do as far as your business is claimable on your taxes on an LLC. It doesn't matter if you drive your vehicle to pick up products, to pick up anything, that is mileage, and that is also a tax write-off. So it can all be market research. If you're driving to a store just to get product information, market research, claim it on your taxes.
Right.
Just to answer that question. Appreciate that question though. Good question.
Thank you. Last thing I want to piggyback off that is make sure you keep all your receipts.
Yes.
Just in case you get audited. Because if you don't keep all your receipts, then it's going to be a bad, long year for you.
Yeah, just let me piggyback on that.
Yeah.
I have a problem with these receipts. Oh, it's killing me. So believe me, I probably every tax year I'm probably doing a good 3,000-4,000 receipts, and that's light. So there's programs you can use to do this. What I would say, and even for me, I'm slacking on it, is make sure when you get a receipt, scan that receipt, take the time to go ahead and put it into a spreadsheet and say this is the receipt. And what your CPA will ask you is break that receipt down by item, by product, or what you're buying. So for instance, if I'm buying clothing, wood, glue, you need to have how much the glue was, quantity, and that is glue. So that's how you break each one of your receipts down. And what we'll do is we'll break down a spreadsheet and put examples in it, and we'll repost it. So whoever's online or whoever comes back online, they can see how that spreadsheet looks, and it'll be your spreadsheet to edit and do as you will.
Nice. So, what we can do is once we launch the site, we can put different things like spreadsheets to help people organize for when they file their taxes and stuff like that. And even if they got a CPA, that will help the CPA out a lot too. When you submitting them a spreadsheet with all the receipts and you number each receipt and you put them together, and when you submit it to them, it'd be a lot easier and the whole process will go a lot quicker. And you get you can maximize your deduction. Never think that you're never going to get money back, because it's a good chance that you will, but you want to get in the habit of keeping receipts, and it will help you know your business a lot more, because it's going to separate things from needs and wants. And you'll know how much you spend that year, because the more you know about your business, the more that you move, the better investments that you have when you're putting in certain things. So Spenny, I got a question for you. So what made you get into lemonade? Most people like to start different types of business ventures and stuff, but what made you get into lemonade?
Thinking outside of the box. Because like you said, people might say, I'm gonna do a lawn service, I'm gonna do a pressure washing business. I'm gonna let's say if I went to school and got a barber's license, I'm gonna start a barber shop. Or if my wife had a a license for cosmetology. She's gonna do hair or whatever. So we say, you know what? Let's do something different because a lot of people, I hate that a lot of people stay inside that box and they trap instead of opening up their mind and looking at all the different possibilities that they can do. So we went ahead and said, you know what? We're gonna take the lemonade stand and make it not just something that kids do on the side of the road, but turn this into our family business. And that's where we are right now. And we are steadily growing and we're enjoying it.
Right. So with the website that you're trying to get built, what are you trying to, you know, what are you trying to like accomplish? You want to get it to more people, or you wanted to um, be able to do shipping like Amazon type way?
All of that. Most definitely the shipping. Exactly.
Mm,
You're absolutely right. I want somebody to go on the website and order 3 gallons. And I'll make sure them 3 gallons get there in enough time where they won't say, well, I ordered 3 gallons and I all came in, but they were bad. So no, that not us. With us, you're gonna get a good product and it's gonna be there in a timely fashion.
right. And the reason why I'm asking you these questions, and like I want people to know the way that you're doing vertical integration. A lot of people don't know that they're doing vertical integration, and they're
Exactly.
actually doing it. And your lemonade is a perfect example because it's homemade. That means that you can sell it as organic, which you taking the stores out the whole equation. Because now people say, man, I got this lemonade here, and it's organic, it's made fresh, and they shipped it within 24 hours. That's your marketing right there. And then
Yeah.
especially when you build your website, you know, people gonna really fall into what you have. And I know we was talking offline, and you was like, my goal is to $10,000. I'm like, you start a website, and the way that you're thinking right now, you're gonna surpass that by the end of the year. And the internet, the things that we have control over, is so vast. Especially with Chat GPT, AI. I got a couple of courses on there too that's talk about this stuff. You can pretty much run your own business and create a business overnight. So anybody that say they can't do or don't want to do it, I just feel like they've been procrastinating or don't want to do it because of the fear. And I know we was talking about fear earlier. I think we was talking about this offline, so I want to touch on fear. Why do you think people have so much fear of starting something? What do you guys think?
Yeah, and that's for the open the chat also. Just kind
Mhm.
of post your comments in there so we can kind
Yeah,
of spark a good conversation and not just have one way conversation with it.
right, right. I love when people
Uh,
get in
and
talk to us.
one of the things I think of fear is everybody think of fear when they starting something. They think of money.
Mhm.
Money. Money is powerful.
But it's
Money is
power.
money is the whole of all fears. I think. And the
Mm,
main thing is people would look at starting out small, building something, and they're scared of failure. And if
That's it.
you fail and you put money into it, you're trying to think of a way to dig yourself back out. Don't think of it a way like that. I'll give you an example of this one. So when I first started my my business, which is me and my wife's business, and that's building home decor, urban decor items from scratch. I started out with a whiskey decanter that I said, well, this is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna build it out of pipes, and I got about $200 worth of pipes, and I threw them all in the trash because I was like, this ain't gonna work for me. It's not my idea. It's not what I want. So let me figure out um, how to create something that somebody else would want. So one of the things I wrote down with people being
mm,
scared is I had to focus on solving a problem and not just making money. So my problem solve was it's not my item, it's not gonna work. So I'm gonna figure out how to give the next person or that customer the best experience, the best whiskey can they can have. And once they use it, they'll appreciate it. So I don't consider that as failure. I consider that as learning how to become better, learning how to develop your skills, and just be that entrepreneur you are. A lot of people don't understand that the way they mind works is they might have things or steps they have to go through, trials and tribulations, and hit that failure point. And then when they come back, it's something better than that first time. So a lot of people just fail basically is from not wanting to be broke or spend money, but you have to spend money sometimes to make money. And in that sense, you can take a $50 and build any kind of business that's small enough, that micro business, and you can build that to $100,000 business easily.
Yeah, that's what we talk about on the last video about scaling. Start
Mhm.
off with you. Most of the time, people can not start off just with vertical integration. Um, you can, start off by middlemaning. Once you do that, you can scale it to the point of where you can slowly progress to getting your business or getting full control of your business. So never think that you got to start off straight off the bat doing vertical integration. Most people can't do that because they're on a budget. But it's ways that you can get to that point. But just know that keep that focus, keep going, and keep pushing yourself. And it's gonna be hard. As I've been in business for over almost 20 years, and it's been days that I've been like, ugh. But you got to do it. If you got that passion and you really 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 want to do it, them the ones that are going to stick around, and them the ones that are going to be successful.
Yeah, and some people, when once you get into that mode of working and working, and you come home, and a lot of us have other jobs, and we want to just excel and build off of that. So you might come home and say, I'm tired, but you have to understand, in order for you to be successful, sometimes you have to give up that time and just have that drive.
Mhm.
And a lot of people, what they call that, a lot of people say you gotta have that beast in
The
you.
dog in you.
Gotta
That
have a
dog,
dog. You gotta be the dog in the
you
fight.
know.
So
Ugh.
yeah. Um, so going into that, I just want to bring up a couple of things, and this is for the chat also. So
Mm,
please chime in on this one, because this is very important. And the way we kind of look at this is, when starting a business, it's not a lot of black businesses out there, right? Um, we don't try and separate each one of our podcasts to one audience. We try and reach out to all the audiences so we can give them knowledge. But the more people that's in our podcast are people of us, people who we are. So for the chat, just everybody chime in on this one. What do you think the issue or the problem is with rich money versus poor money thinking?
Hmm.
What do you think that problem is?
that's a good one. I remember we talked about. That's very good. That's very good.
And why everybody is letting that, letting it
Yeah.
marinate
Can you
on the head
repeat that, bro? Can you repeat that just so people can
Yeah.
hear you
So
again?
what's the difference between rich money versus poor money thinking?
That's a
Just
good
let
one.
that marinate. We have a question also. Um, what is the hardest thing to do besides having an income to start out and getting a patent for your product? The hardest thing to do is to step out and start. That's
That's
the
it.
hardest thing to do.
Right.
That's the
Right.
hardest thing, believe me. So if you
Right.
have that idea that what you want to start and get into, that is the hardest part, because you're gonna have people that's gonna tell you you can't do it, or that don't look right. Take that. Use that criticism to build and just light a fire, right? So the hardest thing you want to do to start a business and to have that income, and just let's use some examples. If you want to start a business but you're on a fixed income, just gauge it.
That's it.
Put
Scale it back.
money aside every time you get paid, however much you can spare, and just gauge it. Start out
Mhm.
small. You want to start out at a micro level and build from that. And to get a patent, all you have to do is there's different sites you can go on the website, and that is a good question. A good segue into it is, when you have a patent for something that you haven't seen, take that step and do it, because you never know what's going to happen. Um, One example is, for me, and I kick myself in the butt for this so many times. So Hollywood video was the up and coming thing everywhere.
Mhm.
And everybody had Hollywood. You go in there, and I'm pretty sure everybody did this same thing. You go in there, you say, man, I forgot my doggone VHS. Now they charging you some extra money.
Yep.
Or they done just lost the paperwork and they saying, oh, you owe me $20. Man, I owe you nothing. So my first thought of one day I went in and they said, you owe me $60. I said, man, I ain't paying those $60. I walked out the store and I said, I need to buy me a bunch of CDs and make people rent them out of a machine that's digital. Of course, I didn't do it. 2 years later, Redbox came up.
Redbox came
what it
out.
was.
So-
Redbox. Yep.
And that's what I'm saying. That's a good question. If you have an idea,
Put it in use.
put it on a patent and make somebody else work for you. Don't let that
Right.
money work you. You work. Let it. You just make that money. That's the whole big thing about it.
Right. Can I touch on that? That's actually a good question. I see where he's coming from, because patents can be expensive,
Mhm.
especially the type of patent. It can cost a lot of money. So my idea is to start a micro business. Start something that's out the norm to gain your profit up. And once you do that, you can put the money towards that patent to launch that product. Because most of the time you can also, they got these companies out there that will, if you got a really good product, they will sponsor you to get the patent. But now you cut into your products, your profit. You can either go that route, or if you're really confident in what you have, which everybody should be who have that, whoever product that you're trying to sell, start a micro business. Is my opinion. Start a micro business, something that's outside of that, to build up that profit to get that patent to launch that product. That's what I think you should do.
So, looking in the chats, we asked about rich money versus poor money. One of the comments is broke is rich. Broke rich. You spend it as soon as you get it on bull crap instead of investing it. Money rich money, in my opinion. So we have another one. Always start small. Done well deal starting up. Okay, so let's go with the broke money, rich money versus poor money. So when you think of rich money versus poor money, if you take steps back a couple of years, say let's go back 40, 60 years now. I'm not 60, but I'm just saying let's go back about 60 years. So parents are parents, right?
Mhm.
So a long time ago, parents in the Black community never had the chance to have credit cards or none of that stuff.
Right.
So what they did, save their money, and then they paid in cash. That's how a lot of people were successful back in those days. They basically came up with, if I have a wash machine, that wash machine costs me $400. I'm gonna save, because for one, the other side of that table is not gonna give me a credit card or let me finance it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna save my money, and then I'm a buy. Or they take these little envelopes, them yellow envelopes back in the day. They put that money in there, put in a safe, grocery money, light money, bread money,
mortgage, whatever they
mortgage
had.
money.
Envelope.
So they had it in that envelope, and they write on the south side of that envelope and say,
What it was.
this is what this money is for,
Yeah.
right? So if you move forward a little bit, a lot of a lot of Black people in certain areas will look at it as, I don't have this money. So we live in day to day. We're gonna live to see tomorrow, but I'm not worried about what's
Next
3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month from now. That's what you call poor money. Nothing against it, because that's the way people are living within their means, right?
Mhm.
But if you think about it, that is, you're so tunnel vision that you don't want to move forward, that you're only gonna sit with that one pot of money. And that's what people will say, I'm gonna take this money, put it in a can and bury it. That money's not gonna make you money. You look on the other side of the table, you looking at how rich folks live. They make money. They invest their money to make money.
That's it.
Then they sit back and watch the money grow. Or they hire other people to do that job and they still watch their money grow. So they're not worried about every day working. Like some people work every single day, but they don't have nothing to show for it. So the person on the other side of that table will sit back and make their money grow and take a vacation and still watch you work. So rich money versus poor money is I'm going to invest my money, watch my money grow. I'm going to be successful without putting in that labor versus I'm going to sit here and work and I'm only going to have a little bit of money to make it last week to week, month to month. That's rich money versus poor money.
I want to do a little bit of motivation. Is I want to talk about mindset. Somebody in the group chat, with a lot of people timing in on it, says mindset. Mindset. Powerful word, because especially when we first joined the military, we, as black folks, we always was told, don't join the military. It's not for us. It's not this. Don't do that. You're gonna, but we still join. And look at us now. We made that choice, but we knew what we needed to do to be, even if you did 20 years and even if you did 6 or 12 years, you still did that big step. And when you got out, now you got the tools, the mindset to accomplish anything, because if you can accomplish that, you could do anything that you want to do.
Yeah.
It don't matter if you join the military or if you did college. People who got master's degrees, that's a lot to take in. Like, that's a mindset that you wanted to go after. You're going to have problems along the way, but it's all about finishing and getting to that finish line. And a lot of people, I feel like they get discouraged because they see things on social media, which some of it's fake, and they get distracted on certain things, and what I do for myself is I write things down. I wake up every morning, I meditate, and work my body to the way where I'm telling myself that I'm already successful and I'm just going through the motions to get to that point what I need to get to, and I think bigger part of your body is your brain. Whatever you're feeding your brain and whatever you're giving your brain and your body is going to react to that way. So mindset is a really good thing, but also taking care of yourself to build your mindset to go out and do certain things that you want to do in life. I've been in same situations, so I'm not talking from just talking. I'm talking from experience. And when you get your body right and you start eating right, you have that energy, and that energy comes from within, and your mind start working in a way that you couldn't believe that it worked. And your bubble and your people that you're around that's not motivating you or bringing you up is going to get smaller. And you're only going to keep the people around you that you want, they're only going to bring you up or give you that information to get you up to the next level. And that's how you're changing your mindset to be better at whatever you're trying to do in life. So I just wanted to say that.
Oh yeah,
you're absolutely right.
Yeah, that's good.
Because like you say, that mindset is
it's
the difference between poor, rich, and wealthy.
Right.
Like you said, you already told yourself every day when I wake up, I'm successful already. Right. I'm just doing now, just getting better than I was yesterday and progressing in my life, in my business, in all my affairs. You know what I'm saying? So if you, like you say, also with that, having a great mindset about your circle. Mm-hmm. If I'm trying to get to $1 million, well, I'm gonna be around somebody who just want to be 100 there.
Yeah.
We can't do that.
That don't go. That don't go, So of course you trying to be with like-minded people, and most definitely the ones that have that information. Because just like Greg said a few minutes ago about our community, we was already way behind from the beginning.
Yeah.
So getting that information from somewhere is a must. Because mama didn't have it, grandmama didn't have it. So we done met different people throughout our lives and our travels, and that's great that somebody say, you know what, hey, I think that guy there's a pretty sharp knife in the tool shed. I'm gonna go ahead and impart some information with him, and I appreciate it. So that there got our mindset going a different way instead of saying, oh, I'm gonna do 10, 12, 20 years, 3 years in the military and go back home and be on the same block. No, we trying to doggone expand and continue to grow and have something to leave for our kids and their kids and have them in the right mindset so we can keep this thing going, and generational wealth is just booming every which way for us. So
yeah, and if you look at the comments, a lot of people are same mindset mentality is rich money mindset is to stop trying to keep up with the Joneses. Yeah. So when you have that mindset, it's your focus. You might not be focused from the beginning, but then you'll start gradually getting into it, working harder, and then you start to. It's almost like you're on autopilot at a sense. You get up in the morning, you know what you got to do, and you start setting the schedules. You start setting yourself with timelines. I got to get this done at this time. It's the mindset that's going to keep you going and keep you up front, and not so much of trying to compare or compete with that next person. Just be successful on your own terms, and that's how you be successful. So segue for that one would be I used to have a buddy of mine when I was coming up used to always say it's greater later. I used to always, man, what the world is he talking about? Greater later. You work hard now, you get them benefits later from all the work you've done is greater later. So the harder you work, the more you make. Now you can start to look at that time for you to sit back and relax a little bit. So it's always greater. But for Smitty, I got a question for you. Why does every dollar count?
Every dollar count because doggone I done put in that time. So I don't want to lose no time because we know time is money, money is time. So by me putting in that work with my time, I'm reaping the benefits of my time with that dollar. So why in the world I want to go out and put blood, sweat, and tears into something and I'm not going to receive anything from it? That's crazy.
Yeah, that is true fact. So when you think of every dollar, why every dollar counts also, and great explanation for it. So every dollar matters in business because small financial decisions accumulate over time. So you can make you see some people back in the day, and I know some people on here close to our age, you had to go pick up them cans, put in a bag, you get like $0.25 or something.
Right, you mad.
You stuff that money in your pocket, but probably about end of the month, you might have $20.
Right.
Happiest person in the world, right? First $20 you made. So that's how you get to why every dollar counts, because you see exactly what you want to do.
Right.
Which I'll go back to Nipsey Hussle piece. He made his first $1 million, right?
Right.
So he didn't think he was going to make that much money. He just wanted to sell 100 CDs. And when he sold those 100 CDs, it kept on going. So every dollar counted for him as he put it away and advanced his expertise and got the knowledge to expand. And pretty much like the comment down here says, you have to be around people who are where you want to be, stay down till you come up. Exactly. You don't want to try and you don't want to have your business go into a store, go into a arena with people that make millions, because now you're going to feel some type of way and you're going to get down on yourself. Now that fear comes in. Now you want to quit. You don't think you're going to be able to make it. Stay at your level.
Stay humble.
Stay humble, stay at your level. And sometimes you might be around people that have that clout, that money. Now you use the doggone the power of the speech and tongue and quill. You go out and spit your game to them on the business platform and say, look, this is what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. Sell your business to that person, make them invest in you so you don't have to invest in it. And once they invest in you, then you know where you at on the right side and the left side.
Right. You know, we was talking about our last video is about time. You know, how important time is, you know, when you get up every morning and go to work that 9 to 5, right? But you won't come home and do for yourself.
Right.
You know, like that. I never got that. Huh?
You don't gonna put all that time for that company, not for yourself, right?
Yeah. I never got that, you know, and when I finally realized that, I started putting more back into my business. But you sometimes you still got to work sometimes, and that's okay. But to make sure you have that mental set up to make sure that you work for you, like put in for yourself, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be a what if, a could have. I mean, I could have did that. I could have did this, but then
Yeah.
you didn't want to put in the work. And what do I got a question? What do success really mean to you guys? Is it money, materialistic stuff? What does success mean to you guys? I want that to say in the chat too, but I want us to touch on that, and I want to talk a little bit more about vertical integration and a little bit about how can they transfer it over to sales and marketing and to the whole bigger picture before we cut it loose for this podcast here. So this episode.
Well, for me, to be successful in my mind is to see that smile on my kids and my grandkids' face.
Motivation.
Like that's it. That's my motivation every day, to see them when they say, my mom left this for me. Because a lot of times people don't do anything. They just, like you say, do that 9 to 5 for 40 years. They go on Social Security, then they dead. So, you really hadn't set your kids and your grandkids and their kids up for success. So for me to get to that day and look back at them and they got a smile on their face saying, thank you so much for all those lessons, and definitely the motivation and those talks, and those life lessons. That's motivation to me, and that's very successful, I think, because like I say, that shows that I did something right, so not just saying that I did something right for Uncle Sam, but I did something right for my family. So
for your family.
Yeah, and chime in on that one. Success is not about money.
Right.
You can be successful without money, because money doesn't make you happy. It's the hard work that makes you happy. So think of success as creating stability and opportunity, making a positive impact on others, and building something that lasts. So when you build generational wealth, that's success. When you are able to say, I'm done with running this business, you pass that on with that financial gain in that business. Success is going to the next person, and it's the generational path that is going to be. Some people might call it like a pathway of evolution, but to pass stuff down is success. Being successful means I can go somewhere and help the community, or I can go somewhere and cook for the homeless. That's success. When somebody else see it, you bring that other person up. That's what I think it is.
That's it.
Yeah, same here. Just spending time with my boys, being able to be in their lives and having them be able to have the choice to do whatever they want in life. And I know the other day my son, I asked him what he wanted to do. He got psycho trials Monday, and he asked me. He said, he's a little discouraged. I'm like, man, you got this. I say, what do you want to do if you don't make it as an athletic, right? He said he wanted to be an entrepreneur, and it kind of touched me a little bit because I work so hard on a lot of different businesses, and seeing my son see me grind like that mean a lot. I mean that I'm going in the right direction, and for him to want to be an entrepreneur, it mean a lot to me. We all out in this household is all a little bit. Everybody got something going on, and to see that everybody feeding off of what I got going on, it's a beautiful thing, and I'm gonna keep pushing, and that's what success means to me. Really big things. I know somebody. That's all the reason why we created this channel here. I used to work for embassies and stuff, and I used to be around ambassadors that own multi-million-dollar business. They used to give me a lot of information, a lot of things that people don't know about that they can be successful at, getting business loans, which we're going to touch on, in different episodes and stuff like that. But to pass along information, to get this information out to our people, because back in the days we were successful Black owners. Now, I feel like we've been brainwashed. I really feel like that we've been brainwashed. We've been, what's the word? We've been
hoodwinked.
Good one. He good. Yeah, good one.
Good word. That's a
Believe
good
that,
word.
right? To be taught to believe that we need things. We need the Bentley. We need the gold chains. We need all this stuff, but
Hmm.
not understanding the whole value behind it. And I just wanted to. I hope that whoever listening can pass this information along that we don't need this type of stuff. If we put back into our community and put back into certain businesses, local black businesses, I think that we'll go far. And I
Yeah.
think that we can learn from each other and stop putting each other down, um, and support each other. Support each other. That's the only way that anybody can get successful, because there's plenty of success, plenty of things and material, money to go around for everybody if we put all our resources together.
Oh yeah. And I know we're getting close to the hour, but I'm gonna
Mhm.
just put
No,
a couple of things in here. So right now, like Lonnie was saying, this is our way to give back and try and start a platform to put out information. And sometimes we are more gauged to uh, stages and steps of how business should be ran and how you get to that point of how you start your LLC, how you get past the LLC, how you start your marketing, how you create marketing plans. So that's where we at with this channel. But this time, what we're doing now is we want to bring on guests that have a business or that want to start a business, and just talk about the fears of where you at and what you want to do through group messaging and just the experience that's online. We're able to give the knowledge to different people, and it might not touch a person in this group, but in conversation later you might be that person that just say, hey, I just seen this on a podcast, maybe you should be in that podcast, or maybe you should come to it. So one of the things I want to say where we at now is Lonnie and I, along with Smitty, we have multiple businesses that we have created. We're gonna have an app that's gonna, for pretty much our businesses, that's gonna show us, that's gonna have not just being on your computer. A lot of people use their phones. You walking and talking.
Hmm.
You hit the
mm,
app, and you can see things. You can buy things. You can get information. You can message us and have information given to you. Where we're going with our platforms is just creating more of a profound platform for different people to be able to stand on their own 2 feet and uh, be able to look forward and say, I don't have to go back. I can do this on my own. I can step forth and not be scared. And just like in the comment, just having that a different mindset from everybody else is the main thing. Um, so we do have those platforms that we're creating. I know along with we between me and Lionel, we have a couple of YouTube channels that we're coming online with. Um, we have stores that we're coming online with, and just different variations of things. And one thing that we're going to for the summer is we're going to create a course for young black kids so they can
Yeah.
have the opportunity to learn how to start a business, create their own platform, and be successful. And we're going to do that in age groups. We're going to do it at 3 different age groups is what we're looking at.
mhm.
And we already have some curriculum already. We already have some things in play or in place to start that. And what we ask of you guys, if there's something that you can help with or come in to the fold with, please do. Information, knowledge, whatever it is helpful to us. Um, so, I mean, I done talked enough. I done put out a whole
No, you
lot.
pretty much did it.
I got one more
You-
comment. So,
yeah.
just for everybody that was in this podcast, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you a topic, and you can leave a post in the topic, and what we three will do is go back and look at what was the most um, inspirational comment to this topic. And what I'm going to do through the business that me and my wife have, Urban Living Decor, is I'm going to make a custom made whiskey decanter. And it's pretty much it's about a $500 whiskey decanter. And costs really don't matter. But I want to show appreciation to the people that is in this forum right now that we appreciate you. We appreciate you for coming in, and we'll continue to do this in this type of forum each time, to where we give a little bit. And it's give and receive, right? So you gave your time, we're gonna give something back to you. So the topic, just so you guys are um, a little bit focused on it, this is a topic: stay hungry, the hungry lion principle. Give me what your thoughts of that specific thing is, and how it relates to starting a business and helping the youth start a business. So I say it again: stay hungry, the hungry lion principle. Give us your thoughts on of what it means to start a business, and for the young youth to start a business and be successful.
That's a good one.
Back over to you, Lonnie Smithish. I talked enough.
Well,
That's a
and like
good
I
one.
said at the beginning, I want to thank y'all for having me. Number one,
Of course.
and it's
Yeah,
always good to be at a meeting of the minds. Like you
right,
say, we all bring something different to the table. So to receive and to impart is a great thing, and I'm all for it.
right. And to touch
Um,
on what Smitty's saying, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was
You,
gonna say, somebody had put a comment a few minutes ago, was
mm,
saying about a lot of times, you have a business going and you can't even have your family in your circle, and that's so true. Not to be a biblical sounding person, but we all read the scripture about when Jesus went back home, he was welcome everywhere, but in his own hometown.
Yeah.
And it's just like that with a business. Like you said earlier about telling your different people to support you. You can go
mhm,
anywhere in the world and sell your product or your service and get as much traction as you want, except for in your neighborhood or in your own house or in your own family, I should say. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. You know what I'm saying? You doggone continue to use that motivation and the love that you're getting from everyone else, and definitely the support. As long as you're getting that
right,
support and you continue to be successful, according to your standards, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Don't
right,
don't doggone let them deter you from continuing to build and grow because they want to be on something else. So,
Yeah.
hey, with that being said, much love and hey, continue to build.
Yeah. And I
yeah,
I get to talking again. God dang. Family. So if you look at the screens, we are all family. So um, family, even if we're not blood, but the three of us on the camera are actually blood. So
right,
that's family. So it is possible. Everything is possible.
right. And we do support each other off camera.
Mhm. Yeah.
We do support. We talk pretty much every day. We bounce ideas, and to have people in your circle like this is valuable, very valuable, because they keep you going, they keep you motivated. That's what the kind of people you want in your circle, because them the people that you're gonna bring with you together. That's the people that you're gonna be successful with. You know, and we've been talking for a long time, and we really elevated on some stuff, and we just here just to share the information. And anything about vertical integration and sales, just reach out to us, and we can get back with you. I know it's a big broad topic, and we try to touch and give you guys, we was wanted to give you more examples than theory,
Yeah.
and let you guys know that is anything is possible with that. So if you're still kind of vague on the topic, just reach out to us, and we can go in very more detail. Whoever want to know more about it and to how to structure their business, starting forward. So
Yeah. And like I said before everybody get offline, just go in, answer that question. It's easy for you, hard for me to do the work. But I definitely want to show our appreciation by whoever wins this item through that comment, and whoever is selected for that will respond to that message, and then you tell me what you absolutely want on that whiskey decanter and I'll show you an
wow,
example
that's
whoever
wicked.
wins, and then I'll make sure that gets out to you at no cost.
Wow. All right, guys, we'll get on it. All right. Well, thanks, Smitty, from tuning in with us. It's been a pleasure. Been a pleasure, and I hope that somebody that's listening took that information. Don't matter what you do, don't matter what type of niche or whatever you're trying to sell. It don't matter. It's $1 million idea. I'm Lonnie.
I'm Greg.
And I'm Smitty.
Thanks, God, for tuning in to Legacy in Motion. You guys have a good weekend. Be safe, stay smart, get it in. Let's go. Let's hustle.